Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson and this is my Manchester United youth review. Now, I've got a little bit of a public service announcement. Last season, I was pretty harsh on Callum Gribbin. I found that a lot of people who was watching highlights and vines of amazing solo goals were constantly telling me that Callum Gribbin was going to be the next whoever, the next player off the production line at Old Trafford. Watching Callum closely and obviously wanting the same, I want a superstar to emerge from the club in the same manner as Marcus Rashford. He's a Red, he's a local lad, and this is what we crave at Manchester United. But I simply didn't see it, and I'm not going to pretend that someone looks amazing if they don't. What I saw was frustrating at times with Callum. He seemed lazy, seemed detached from the rest of his teammates, bit like in a world of his own. Just wasn't the player that I was hearing people online who I knew wasn't watching the games were telling me that he was going to be. In a few outings this season, Callum has been in with a shout of man of the match every single time, if not been man of the match every single time. His attitude has completely changed. It's totally different. I spoke to him this morning and said that I am absolutely delighted to be wrong with him at the moment. Callum knows himself he wasn't good enough last season, and he's putting the steps on and off the pitch to address it. His attitude and his professionalism and his performances this season look sensational. So whatever he's changed this season, keep doing it, because Callum, you are absolutely smashing it at the moment. A joy to watch. The sort of performances that we hoped and we knew that he had in him. It's a joy to watch. An absolute credit to the side at the moment. And what's a stacked under-18 side. I was a little bit wary of him coming back into it, maybe upset the balance of it a little bit, but he looks sensational. They've got to find a way to keep him, Angel, Chong and all the rest of the lads in that team, because he looks fantastic. So there, I've spoken to Callum in private, and I've mentioned it a couple of times how he looks sensational on Twitter. So this is for all of those who watch the youth review, and you'll have seen last season that I'd have been quite dismissive of Callum. Holding my hands up, he's proven me wrong tenfold this year. Absolutely fantastic. Monday night, Nicky Butts, under 23s, went to Reading at Wycombe, and although the team sheet looked like it had a lot more balance in it than it has done in recent months, I thought the midfield trio of Goss, Willock and Redmond, both on paper and actually in the game, looked like it had a lot of balance to it. A really nice complementary midfield. Harrop and Gribbin playing on the wings as inverted wingers, with McTominay obviously playing out of position, leading the line. Harrop scored a goal that you normally only see in FIFA. It was about 8 seconds from the restart from a penalty which Gribbin had won, which Harrop had put away. Just goes the whole length of the pitch, takes it off the Reading player, goes the whole way through the defence and slots a nice goal home. Sensational goal, absolutely sensational. And he's got that in his locker all day long. Josh Harrop, a touch that you couldn't buy, honestly. A fantastic touch. He needs a really powerful centre-forward running off him, and he's going to cause absolute havoc in behind. So a couple of decent goals, obviously a penalty and a really decent goal. Callum absolutely sent the keeper West to win the penalty. Give him the eyes, sent him the wrong way, was brought down by his trailing leg, but a real top performance, possible man of the match performance from Callum on Monday night. Honestly, looking right back in the mixer, and I'm hoping he's back in the under-18s for the derby on Saturday, because they could really do with a hand in turning over the so-called golden generation of Manchester City. But Reading on Monday night, scrappy defensive play, allowed Reading back into the game. They scored 2 goals with Yap Stam in attendance as well, so possibly that might have elevated some of the performances, any of them trying to sneak into the first team. And unfortunately for United, Joe Riley looks like he's actually injured. The tight hamstring which kept him out of the Sunderland game last week, and that's a bit of a blow to his chances of making any sort of first team appearances this year, I reckon, because you're looking at 6, 8, 10 weeks to return, and then probably 3, 4 weeks to prove yourself, and that doesn't leave very long left in the season. So gutted for Joe Riley there, because he was having a real good season, absolutely levering on the door for the first team. Probably should have already been given the opportunity. When we saw he wasn't in the team last week, we assumed that, oh, maybe he's going to be playing midweek in the Europa. Wasn't the case. It was because he had a knock. But that's very unfortunate for Joe Riley, and I'm really gutted for him, because he's been absolutely fantastic. Always worry when he's a player as quick and as pacey as Joe injures a hamstring, because those can be a bitch to recover from. And I think he should probably go and speak to Giggs here. Maybe go and have a look at doing some yoga, because they can plague a fast player's career. Look at Michael Owen till the end of your time, or even cause the end of your time. So make sure you heal that properly, and don't rush yourself back, because that's a bad one to go, especially for a player with your attributes. Aside from the under-18s. Aside from that, the under-18s have been absolutely smashing it. 20 goals in the last 5 games, and they look sensational. An opening day defeat 4-0 to Derby County was completely reversed with a 4-0 win at the Cliff on Friday night. And if I'd have said it could have been 7 or 8 and no one would have batted an eyelid, I really mean that. Angel Gomez must have pulled off 5 or 6 back heels that were just perfect to the player that they went to. There was an element of almost trying to score perfect goals, trying to score worldies, and they didn't really go for the throat once they was 3-4-0 up. They actually cruised. Derby looked so far off the pace from the team that beat us 4-0 at the start of the season. An absolute credit to Kieran McKenna. These lads are completely shutting teams down at the moment. They're playing fluid, free-flowing, aggressive, which I like, attacking football. And I think they're an absolute joy to watch. And I think they've got a real chance of doing something in the FA Youth Cup this season, which is the mark of all Manchester United great under-18 sides. But that starts with an interesting and difficult test on the horizon on Saturday as Manchester United come to Carrington. So there will be a bumper crowd for that one. Get yourself down nice and early. It's open from about 10. 11 o'clock it'll kick off. And you'll see 2 of the best sides at under-18 level in world football. Not blowing smoke up anyone's arse here. This is a fact. These are 2 of the best sides in world football at this level. It'll be interesting to see which side comes out on top. Bit of a disappointment for one of the under-15 players at the moment. And I don't talk about anyone who's not been on MUTV. That's the sort of like something that I have. If they're in the 18s, they're already being spoke about. They're already being put on television by by MUTV and by the club's own website. Below that level, they don't. So I don't. I think that's something that I think a lot more people could do without publishing about what's going on with some of these players. But anyway, one of the brighter talents in the under-15s, 14-year-old, been playing for the under-16s and absolutely smashing it. It's torn his ankle ligaments, which is a big blow for him. He's going to be out until at least next year. So hopefully you rest up as well, because from what I've seen so far, especially at under-16 level, considering the guy's age, the performances have been on a par or possibly even better due to the substantial size that this young lad's got than what we were seeing at Angel Gomez at under-16 level at this age group. So definitely need to hurry up and get yourself fit, and hopefully we'll see you smashing it again in the new year. That will do for this week's youth review. Thank you to everybody who's watched. Please subscribe if you don't already. Over the last couple of weeks, with the amount of games United have had, and obviously doing the 7 games in 7 days, which turned out to only be 6. That video's coming out very soon actually as well. I've had no time to really collate what's going on with the youth. This is one of my favourite videos. It's one of your guys' favourite videos as well. So I do endeavour to try and get this out every single week. So thank you to everybody who's watching. Please subscribe. Any comments or questions about the youth, please get them in the description below or in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. If it's more in depth and it requires a longer answer, or you think it'd make an interesting discussion topic, then head over to Reddit /r/Howson and stick your in-depth questions in there, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.